that others will do the same thing. And my question is this. In the beginning of the conversation today, you mentioned that there were troops and, I guess, troop hardware assets in St. Louis. So is there any other areas of the country that have been mentioned?
Yes. Most all of the areas of the country have movements of some sort. Summertime is the time when the National Guard goes on maneuvers, along with the regular standing military. It used to be that regular military looked down on the National Guard as weekend warriors. That's a term that I don't use and won't very often, but in this case I'm alluding to it for a simple fact. Most of these so-called weekend warriors have been deployed as active troops in war zones recently, or are still there. And I cannot more highly praise them for their service. And personally, I would take issue with anybody that uses that term. I would like nothing better than to see the military as a whole, and I mean this quite literally, called up to take action, make sure everybody's all right. Are you okay? Yeah. You got food and water? Yes, sir. We're in good shape. And they go down the line and make sure everybody's all right. A small group is all it would take. And I honestly feel comfortable in addressing people that have the courage and honor to serve their country in the fashion they do. Now, I'm going to tell you this. All of us need all the help we can get. So a little prayer, and it can be Muslim. It don't matter which you are praying to. Look for the betterment of mankind. Look for an honest, peaceful settlement of this. Look for something that puts us all in a little better place than we have been in the past, and actually gives us some sort of future beyond what some of the oligarchs believe we should have. Next question.
One other mention is here in Atlanta. Someone mentioned to me that they had just seen some carriers carrying NATO equipment. Has there been any word about the United States bringing in foreign troops against us?
I've heard of instances that were blown out of proportion. I've heard that there are troops stationed just outside the borders and all kind of happy stuff. When I see some kind of pictures that are identifiable as to location, I would give them more credibility. Now, that don't mean that they ain't there. Now, the other part is that people have to understand that according to what I started this program with, the idea of the globalist United Nations rulership, you have to realize that some of the equipment you see that bears a UN insignia probably belongs to us anyway, and was painted over existing United States military insignia. So my situation is that I feel that we all need to simply keep an eye on the situation, see where they go, see whether or not they have troops enough to even use the equipment. Now, you got to remember, you can make a show of things by moving the same troops several different times, several different places. The same thing's true of equipment. You can run a patch over the top of another one and make it look like it's something it isn't, and make it look like they have more power or capability than they have. Always remember that. So this is why you don't go out of your way to quickly engage and things of that nature. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Buck. Okay. And we have a couple quick questions from the chat room, Drake.
Okay.
Okay, they had heard that Japan had set aside trillions and trillions of dollars to help transition. Is this true?
Transition to what?
They didn't say. They just said that they had. They heard that Japan has set aside trillions of dollars to help in any kind of transition.
Okay. That transition means that they're on our side. If that'll tell anybody any secrets.
Aid us in transition. Okay.
Yes. Now, the other part of that is that they have a serious problem in terms of the nuclear problems that are going on. The area, the whole of that area, to include the whole of the island, is being nuked slowly. The leakage and whatnot from those plants has not been addressed correctly or in any way, shape, or form that would have or could have prevented what we've got now in the way of problems. So you still got releasement into the water and into the atmosphere. Some of that releasement has made it into mid-Canada, mid-United States. Some of it has made it all the way to Europe, depending on what wind it caught. We've got debris from that tsunami that is beginning to arrive. I would tell people to be very careful about that for several reasons. You don't know what the condition of it is. You don't know if something will explode when you go messing with it. And you don't know if it's polluted with something that you do not want to get your fingers in. So
absolutely,
I would be leery of that.
Okay.
That's
all right. Okay, and another quick question was, do we have any new news from Keenan?
I have news and information that I'm not in a position to share as of yet. I was told to hold on to it and wait. As soon as he gives me the okay to put it out, I will do so. That probably will be a combination of in the on the Facebook page, and I will also put that on my website so that people know what's going on. Okay,
and we could probably expect some news of some kind probably early in the week. Huh?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, based on that. Okay, our next caller up is Missy, area code 248. Missy, you're on.
Hi. My question is that your address to the troops advised them not to follow unlawful orders, but for the military to take initiative means that orders have to be given. And it's well known that the cabal is also at the highest levels of control of the military. So isn't asking the military to take action and arrest the cabal like asking the cabal to arrest itself?
No. What you've got is a situation where certain people in the military feel that they are absolutely in charge, just like the cabal. Those people will be summarily arrested and removed from their position. If that happens to be the Joint Chiefs, so be it. If it happens to be certain commanders, so be it. The percentage of report that I got back, and one of the requirements I made with that addressment of the troops was that they run it up the flagpole. What that means in military term is to take it up the chain of command. I understood that it did make it all the way to the Joint Chiefs. They know that everybody is now looking, and they're reading, and they're finding out what exactly the operational parameters or limits in which they can do things are. This is stated field manuals, this is stated military code, etc. Most of the commanders will, most of the people that I know of are decent people and will answer according to their best knowledge of what these laws that govern the military state. Basically, there are only very, very limited cases where the military can engage civilians, and those are generally under assistance to outmanned law enforcement as a backup measure only. Okay, now they sometimes will be actively engaged. It varies, but they are not to basically go out of their way in a military fashion and do a boot stomp on the local citizenry. That's a big no-no, and this is basically what this addressed. From my understanding, this thing did go all the way through the military like a house on fire. I'm glad that it did. I hope it brought everybody's awareness up. Now, one of the things that everybody was concerned about was being put out of the military. Well, there have been a lot of people that have been killed recently in varying ways that looked like natural causes. There's also been a lot of resignations and forced retirements and other things. People have been put out of the military because the cabal, the bad guys, would like to try to retain control. So far as I can tell, from what I understand from my people who are sources, this has not been exactly the most effective thing they've ever tried. So I would suggest that we're in better shape than they think. And I'm also, as I said, fully in support of the military. And we can go from there. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Missy. Thank you very much. Okay. We have a couple more quick questions from the chat room. One of them is there, not that a petition would help at this point, but tell people to sign a White House petition possibly to implement NESARA?
NESARA is going to be implemented whether anybody likes it or not, whether you make a petition or not. That's one of the basis of the reformation or reconfiguration of the structure of our finances. It's going to be a part. There's going to be, from what I understand, there's 3 different types of things that are going to be done. One at a time, so that nobody needs to freak out over it, and that these things will be taken in such a manner, done in such a manner, accomplished in such a manner that it creates the least amount of problem or chaos. So that's something to bear in mind.
Okay, I understand that. They just posted that there is already a petition out to implement NESARA, and I'm sure if you haven't signed it, you can. And I guess we'll try to pull that link up and put it on the Global Voice. Also, somebody made a comment. So is Drake saying that he knows that there are foreign troops near or on U.S. soil now that might take after us as soon as tomorrow or Tuesday?
I don't think I think that these foreign troops got to wait for the UN edict, and that edict is coming later in the week. My suspicion is that as soon as the I don't think they're going to be ready in time. I think we're going to take our action first. That's my opinion of it.
Okay, Drake. We have a little bit more than 21 minutes left, or right at 21 minutes. Our next caller is Pepper, area code 817. You're on.
Hey, how you doing there, Drake?
Good.
Hey, I just want to shed a little biblical enhancement here on this situation. I've been following stuff very closely the past 3 or 4 years and how events have been unfolding. The country is coming back, and it will come back. We know all the people in place, who they're for and who they're against. And if these people that we have in power now that are the bad guys, cabal, or whatever tag you want to put on it, does not fulfill biblical prophecy in the end days. And the changes we're seeing happening right now is very proof of the very existence of God's Word. It is in the Bible that this country and those that are with us are going to come back to their former glory. But the cabal, or what's left of the cabal, will shift its power towards Europe. And this is where other events take place in the last year, in the last days for the great war to come, as prescribed. And I don't think people really know that. But, guys, look for a glorious day here in the States.
I look at one part of the Bible in relation to a lot of things. I look to certain instances, actions taken by varying individuals, and the principles that are taught in that. You cannot have freedom of will unless it's able to be freely expressed.